Hey guys, it's Sammy with Spark Canine. Today, let's talk about all things Ecollar. We are likely using the mini educator from Ecollar Technologies with your dog. There are so many good things about this Ecollar. If we are using a micro educator or a boss unit educator on your dog, pretty much all of the same information is going to apply. Micro educator is for small or very sensitive dogs. A mini educator is great for almost all dogs. And then the boss educator is great for bigger size dogs or dogs who need a little bit more oomph behind their stick. But same basics, same concepts. Pretty much everything is gonna be the same. It just has to do with the size of the dog. Let's go ahead and go over everything that is in your mini educator box. Okay, here we have our box. If you have a micro or a boss educator, all of this stuff is also gonna be the same thing. In these baggies up here, let's go over what all of these tools are. So the long black tool is if you want to change the contact points on the dog unit. That circle tool is if you ever want to get a new skin for your Ecollar remote. It doesn't have to say the yellow or black that you have. And then that clear triangle looking one is to test to see if the dog unit is actually working. It actually lights up, which is pretty cool. In this baggie, you will have some extra contact points for the dog unit on your Ecollar. It will depend on the current contact points your dog is using, if these will be beneficial for you. Now you'll have a lanyard up in that top middle section, and then you also have a charging cord. What's really cool and great about this charging cord is that it has two units so that you can charge both the dog unit and the remote at the same time. And underneath the tray is an owner's manual, and then last but not least, your handler unit and your dog unit. So now that we've gone over everything that is in the box and what each part and piece is, let's go over the actual unit, the system, and how we're gonna get started and how your dog has been accustomed to getting used to the Ecollar. Here you have, this is your handler unit, this is the remote, and then you have your receiver unit. This is what your dog will wear. We're gonna start with this, going over the anatomy of all of this. So first and foremost, you have your strap. I will or have marked your strap with a silver Sharpie mark so that you know about where the fit is on your dog. These are the shorter hair contact points. Your dog might have longer hair contact points on their unit if they needed it. What you have here is your serial number. You also have your charging port. This opens up and you can charge it. Your charger comes with two charger connections, so you can charge your receiver and your remote at the same time. This is your indicator light, and then you have your red button here. Red button is for powering it on and off. Your indicator light will tell you your battery, and it's also a flashlight, which is a really cool feature. Let's go over the anatomy of your Ecollar remote. So first and foremost, you have this antenna. Your Ecollar is a 1/2 mile radius. The antenna just helps with that. Next, you have your dial here. This is going to be what you dial with to get your numbers to change. You have your black S button. That's gonna be the primary button that you're going to focus on. S is for stim. So whatever your black S button is will reflect the number on the screen. Your red S button is a boost. That's gonna be your oh no button in case you aren't able to dial up fast enough. It's kind of like your panic button if your black S button isn't enough. Next, you have a little spot if you wanted to put a lanyard or a keychain or something along those lines. Flipping your remote around to the other side is your T button. This is gonna be for tone. It's going to emit a noise out of your dog unit. Turning all of this over, what you have is, this is your big power button. So pushing it, holding it in is on and off. If you just push it in, you will get the flashlight. It will intermittently flash. You push it in again one more time, you will have that flashlight on consistently, and just pushing it in one final time, a third time, will turn that flashlight off. Next over here, this is your M and your C button. That's for momentary and continuous stim. The way that I've set your Ecollar up, your Ecollar is set up on C, continuous only. There's no momentary. The reason for that is because you can simply just tap your button in briefly to make it momentary, or you can hold it in for continuous. So your buttons are both set on continuous. If you ever end up on momentary, I want you to change it back to continuous. That's usually the most effective way for your dog to understand what's going on. Finally, you have your charging port down here, again, with that nice rubber flap. If you ever got a belt clip from Ecollar Technologies, that's what that little screw part is up there on the top. Now we have the front of the Ecollar. We're gonna go ahead and turn it on. So I'm gonna push and hold in that big L button on the back. We'll talk about the front. So you'll see to turn it on, if I just simply touch the button in down below, it turns red. You want to wait until your screen turns blue. That's how you know that your remote is on, not just the red, wait for the blue. But we also have down here, it's flashing green. That's just saying it's on, it's working, we're all good. You'll notice that my blue went away. That's normal. Your remote will go idle. It's like your phone screen just going to sleep. It goes to sleep, but it's still on. If I just push a button or turn the dial, it will light back up again. What we have now too, you'll see your number on your screen. You will also see up at the top there, it's flashing 1D. That is just for one dog. I have this set for a 1-dog unit. You can set this up to be a 2-dog unit where one dog is the black S button, one dog is the red S button. For now, it's just set as one dog. And then finally, you have your C button. C again is for that continuous, momentary versus continuous. Okay, you have your remote. We are on. Let's turn on your dog receiver unit. So you also have a red button here down there. You're going to push your red button together and your red button together. They are magnetic until your dog unit turns green. So notice green is for on. When I remove it, the green goes away, but it will intermittently flash to let you know, hey, I'm on, we're talking, we're all connected, all is good. To turn it off is gonna be the exact same way, except it's gonna turn red. As your battery needs to charge on your handler remote or on your receiver unit, it will begin to flash orange and then red, so green is fully charged, and then the colors will change as you need to charge it. You also know that they are fully connected because when I hold my button in, you'll see that both of them light up red. They are fully connected and talking to each other. I'm gonna show you that flashlight feature now too. It's actually pretty cool. So I'm gonna just push my big L button in once. You're gonna get a flashing flashlight. I'm gonna push it again. You're gonna get a solid flashlight, and then one final time turns that flashlight off. And show you the tone. So that is what your tone sounds like. If you hold your T button in for longer than 2 seconds, it will switch automatically over to stim. Whatever the number is on your screen, it switches to stim. So you will often hear in training that I'm just doing a tap, tap, tap on the tone instead of a solid tone. That's so that it's not immediately switching over into the stim before I'm ready. Let's talk about fit of the e-collar on your dog. Your dog has straps of muscles on either side of their trachea and on their spine. So a big strap of muscle here, and then also on either side of their spine. This is a muscle stimulator collar. That's why I also say stim. A muscle stimulator collar. So we want the contact points to be sitting on a strap of muscle. Really, the focus is you just don't want it on the trachea and you don't want it on the spine. You want the e-collar to fit fairly snugly on your dog's neck, so much so that if they give a really good shake, that receiver unit doesn't move around. If it does fall down, just snug it back up, maybe tighten it 1 to 2 notches. When should your dog wear the e-collar? I want your dog to wake up in the morning, come out of their crate, put that e-collar on them. They should be wearing it pretty much throughout the day, even when they're interacting with you. If maybe they're playing with another dog, that's okay. Your dog should be wearing their e-collar consistently throughout the day, each and every day. I recommend that you charge it every night. It does have a fairly good battery life, so if you forget, that's okay, but I am gonna recommend that you charge it every night. Just take that e-collar off at night, plug it in, go to bed. It's just like your cell phone, right? You charge your phone every night, so make sure that you're charging your e-collar every night and that your dog is wearing it consistently every day. Your dog is e-collar trained. Let's talk about what they're feeling. So if you've watched the prong collar video, you know that your dog understands pressure and release. I have taught them e-collar pressure the same way. With something that they already know, they feel that pressure when I ask that of them, and as soon as they do that, all that pressure is gonna be released. It's a low level number that we're working with. It's likely under 10. Corrections are different. Corrections are going to be higher levels on your e-collar. We'll get into that. Let's talk about the difference between tone and stim. So tone means move your body. That also can translate to a really nice tone recall, having your dog come back to you when you call them. That is going to be your tone. If you are right-handed like me, you're going to be using that with your thumb. Tone recall. Perfect. Now with stim. Stim is going to be for those moments where you disagree with your dog. Really, anytime you want to say no to your dog, you're going to be using your stim. You really want to be clear in no, stim, repeat your command, whatever you're asking for. I want you to think of tone as movement and stim is to disagree. I've already built that pattern with your dog. It's just a matter of you building that pattern with your dog as well. This is going to help build your believability. Your dog is going to believe you now because really you have a follow through for your no. Your no means something. There's actually a consequence behind your no. One thing that I love about eCollar Technologies is that there are 100 levels on your remote to be able to communicate with your dog. So it really has the full ability to be able to, whisper in a quiet setting, just like a quiet, calm indoor, like, no, that's not what I'm looking for. Or I can really talk to you. If we're outside and I need to raise my voice, I can dial up. I've got 20s and 30s and 40s, whatever your dog might need. Or in those panic situations, think of it like at a concert and you need to talk to your friend. You're probably hollering at them pretty loudly. You can dial up as much as your dog might need. You have the full 100 numbers. Don't be afraid to use them. Do not be afraid to dial up.